Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I just thought I'd do a sit down video today. Oh, it's been a busy time with going on holiday, back to school, all that jazz. So if you know, you know, back to work and trying to get back into routine, which is always fun. Exercise on the wayside at the moment because this week, just one of those weeks where there's a lot of stuff going on and I just need to start. I don't know about anyone else, but I just need to start a full week to sort of continue that. But anyway, thought I'd let you know about our disastrous holiday that we had. Now, I'm being a bit over dramatic. Obviously, you know, sense check. I'm very privileged to be able to, one, have a family, and two, be able to afford to even go on a holiday, even once a year. Some people can't do that, so you know. This isn't about like the actual holiday itself in terms of like accommodation or anything. Or that was all fine. It was just when you think nothing else can go wrong and it just goes wrong. So basically, it started the night before we were going. It sounds like some kind of dramatic novel. But no, in all seriousness, we sort of had a fine Sunday and everything seemed okay. But it got to like basically bedtime. My eldest went to bed fine, he was all good. But my youngest, oh my gosh, apparently this is the week he chose to just start doing developmental stuff. Um, and I said, could you not have just waited a week or done it already? But he's 19 months at sort of this time of this happening. Um, but yeah, so basically that night, the night before going on holiday, that I've got to drive 180 or whatever odd miles to the south coast. He basically on and off slept on and off. He'd done really well recently in terms of like sleeping through, like we way back in sort of August, pre 4 months that we had an awful time and it felt like it never was going to end. But he got back into sleeping through the night, like very grateful, because some parents don't even get that, and it's awful until they're old enough to sort of just decide for themselves. So yeah, my husband basically, I got up with him initially and then put him back to bed, and then my husband was like, "Look, at the end, you've got to drive obviously for a long time and concentrate. You get to sleep or try to, and I'll just take over." So he basically spent the whole night downstairs, because he just wouldn't sleep anywhere other than the bouncer chair that he has, as in like it lays flat, not like a sit-in one, like just a lay down flat sort of chair that you can bounce. Loved it with my first and my second. So yeah, he basically was down there all the time. And in the back of my head, I went, he's going to be sick at some point, and I just know it. Um, but anyway, he woke up fine. My youngest was, obviously tired because he'd not exactly been sleeping in the most comfortable place. And he had some breakfast. Like we made sure we had breakfast like with enough time for it to sort of digest and all that sort of stuff. Because we were sort of deciding whether my eldest had like car sickness. Like we couldn't decide because one time he generally did actually get a sickness bug because it carried on past, um, sort of 24 hours. So the car's all packed. We get in 20 minutes into this journey. We're only 20 minutes from home. Throws up everywhere. In all over himself, all over his car seat. So I've got to pull over on the A46. Luckily it was one that has sort of the proper lay-bys you can drive in. So you're sort of obviously you're still by the road, but you're away than if you were to just pull in on the side. Got him out. My husband sort of tried to sort the seat out the best he could. I cleaned him and changed. Luckily, I'd packed quite a few changes of clothes into the bag. I cleaned him and changed him. Um, and then yeah, just did the best we could with what we had. Put him back in, gave him a little bit of water just because obviously when you've been ill and stuff, it's just if in case he wanted to get the taste out his mouth. Just like, oh my gosh, okay, this is how this is going to start. So we did all that. Obviously, put him back in, and off we went again. And then it was probably honestly another 20 to 30 minutes later on the M5, 13 miles away from Gloucester services. He does it again. Obviously, not as bad this time because he's got most of it out the first time, but it's still there. He's still wet. And I said, look, we're just going to have to plow through until we can get to the services, 13 miles, and sort him out. So we get there, sort him out, clean him up again, change him again, get him some fresh water from the services. I let him have a wander around. Obviously, on the Rains, it's a car park, so it's a bit dangerous. But we kept to sort of the grass and everything like that. We're probably there for 15, 20 minutes. Right, fine. Okay, back in the car, everyone ready. Like, make sure the seat's okay. Make it as dry as we can. It's obviously, again, limited with stuff. Just use one of the towels we've got. And yeah. And then thankfully, from that point, he fell asleep. It didn't take too long for him to fall asleep. And he fell asleep, practically woke up when we were honestly about 5 minutes away from the sort of holiday camp. But when we were 5 minutes away from the holiday camp, my eldest then felt sick. Luckily, now because he's, well, 4 going on 5, we basically sort of invested in sick bags. They're just blue ones and they sort of expand. We showed him how to use it before, like we've had them a while now, just in case. And he successfully used the sick bag. So I said, wow, with our eldest, I think that must be car sickness because he was fine before. Obviously, his brother being sick didn't make him be sick, which obviously can be a chain reaction. So at another point in the holiday, we did actually get him some sickness tablets from the chemist, which we used on the way home. And we will be using going forward for long journeys until he grows out of it. Because I also got car sickness, but a lot later. But also, to be fair, I can't remember that we really did long journeys, but I also can't remember that far back. But yeah, so then obviously we got there settled in, and the first night was just horrific, like with my youngest. And I think because he's at that 20-month, 19-month-old, they can't fully communicate with us properly. Obviously, he can say words, make noises, but you're sort of still on a bit of a guessing game. Obviously, we know our child, and your own child, so you get used to understanding what they're trying to say and everything like that. And the first night, again, was another basically up all night. So I did, and it ended up with basically just rocking it, like pushing him backwards and forwards in the pram, and that's the only way he would sort of stay. We forgot our fans for the white noise, so I had to use my phone, like find a Spotify 10-hour playlist thing. So I was up all night that night too. The second night was very similar. Again, he did sleep a bit more in the bed. And as the days went by, I mean, we were only doing a Monday to Friday. So like the Monday, nighttime, I just broke down in tears because I was like, I can't do this. This isn't fair on our eldest. Like maybe I should just take him home and I'll come back and get you when it's time to obviously actually go home and he can just save my mom. But we did get through that. And me and my husband obviously took it in turns to deal with him. And yeah, the second night was kind of somewhat the same. It was a little bit better, but still pretty rough, still exhausted, like in the day it was pretty much somewhat fine. It's just like the night time we dreaded. He just wouldn't nap at all. He's not really a napper at home anyway. And then thankfully, like the Wednesday, Thursday were better, but then it got to the Thursday, and then guess who else got ill? Me. Yay. I'm not going to go into any details because it was awful. It wasn't, I wasn't sick. There was other things going on, but because it was a Thursday sort of, I think it was either 4 or 5 a.m. I can't quite remember. But I had to wake my husband up because I started to feel funny then, but nothing had really happened. I just said, I really don't feel very well. Like I can't push him. Like, can we swap? So then I got some rest. And I felt somewhat okay. I was like, I don't really feel like food too much, but I had something to eat and all that. And then it was until the evening on the Thursday that then I got some symptoms and started being really ill. And I didn't go to dinner and I stayed with our youngest because I was like, you two go to the pub. Like I'd booked it. I was like, look, you go, have a nice time. There's a little playground that he can enjoy and you can just sit and chill sort of thing. So yeah, and then that basically just got worse. And then I had to put all my energy, having not eaten for like 24 hours or however long it was, maybe, well, probably just over 12 at that point. Took some tablets to try and make me stop being ill. So that obviously, because I'm the only driver, I'm the only one that can drive. So I did that and just powered on like through. Did we stop? I can't remember if we stopped our services. We must have. We must have stopped on the way back. But I was like, I think they fell asleep because they were tired. I was like, I'll just keep going for as long as however, I went a different way, which gave us more stopping points if we needed to. So this time, instead of going up sort of near M5 way, so we ended up on the M40. just because the way the route it sort of takes you, there's lots of stopping points along the way, and that's just so much better if you need to stop in an emergency. But yeah, and then we basically got back. I let my husband make everyone like their lunch, and then once they were done, I went up to bed for like 4 hours and just slept. I was exhausted. I couldn't eat. I was just like, nope, not for me. So that honestly really, that's again, it's, I know I'm very grateful I can go on holiday, but that was probably the worst holiday. Like I came back more stressed than I already was having finished work to go on holiday. To like, I'm fully aware. I always say, holiday, all parents may sort of be similar, and it depends on your children. I was like, at the moment, holidays aren't relaxing because if it was just with my eldest, fine, like he's easy, like you entertain, he can walk about a bit longer and stuff. Whereas the youngest is you need to strap him in the pram because he's going to try running the road, and obviously he doesn't understand dangers at the moment. So yeah, so I've kind of said, well, we sort of only go on holiday somewhere once a year anyway. So I said, well, let's review it. I guess you sort of should book these things in advance to be a bit cheaper. I was like, well, let's just see in a year's time what he's like, and then maybe leave it a year and a half because it'll be 2.5 by the next time we'd usually go on holiday. So maybe we'll see what he's like come Christmas time, and then decide then whether we're just going to push it back a bit. But yeah, if you feel my pain, not necessarily with all the things that went wrong, but just with holidaying with young children, obviously I'm hoping as he gets older and gets to more like 3 that it'll be a lot easier. And it might not be. I'm not going to count my chickens on that one just in case. But yeah, I just thought I just wanted to share that story with you. So, I sort of look back and can laugh about it now, but when I sort of come back to it, hey, have a good time. Much that I don't like, I'm not even ready to talk about it. But yeah, now I just look back on it as one of those fond memories that we'll talk about when they're older and be like, do you want to hear about a chaotic holiday? And when you don't think anything more can go wrong or people can get ill, that it just happens. But yeah, that was such a random tirade. No, that's not the right word. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to stop blabbering now. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Please go check out my stopped it. Sorry, my timer went off, so I should probably go get my dinner. Please go check out my shorts if you like. They're often mainly they're kittens, older kittens, but they're normally kitten based, or there's an odd dog that peeps in, and Pokemon stuff as well. They're just good, quick, easy things that I like to make. But yeah, let me know down below if you want to hear any other sort of stories or experiences of being a parent or whatever, or if there's anything that you've seen that you'd like to see more of. But yeah, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.